Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing tonight? Well, I'm back in Indiana, and the Vegas vlogs are over. It seems so, I just snorted. It seems so weird to be back in Indianapolis. We stepped off the plane, and somebody even said it, like right behind us, they're like, the humidity. And the humidity just like hit me immediately. But it kind of feels good. Like I kind of missed it. But it almost seems hotter here. Well, tonight it's cool. There's a breeze because it was raining earlier. We must have missed the rain, but it's like wet. The ground is wet. And the air is so nice. There's like a little breeze in the air tonight. I'm not gonna vlog for a long time. I just left the post office and I'm gonna vlog up the interstate, and then I'm gonna come back and listen to my audiobook and kind of relax, and then I'm gonna go to bed. I've been using that Tupelo honey all week long, so it's weird that I'm using the Huckleberry. I'm not used to it. So yeah, we got in at about 10:30 and got our bags and got out of the airport. And then drove home. Alex was hungry. My stomach has been hurting me all day long. I bought a bunch of like crap for the plane. So, but I didn't really eat a lot of it. He was like, well, maybe it's from the crap that you got. But I said, I didn't even really eat that much of it. So I don't know that that's it, you know? I really don't know what it is, honestly, but my stomach's been kind of hurting. So I drove him through Taco Bell, and he got Taco Bell, and I didn't get anything. I was like, I'm not really hungry right now. And then we came home and got the mail, sorted through the mail. Alex sat there and watched 90210 while he was eating, and I was kind of listening to it in the background. I actually really like it, the 90210 reboot. I mean, it's so stupid. It's so completely stupid and awful that it almost is good. I don't even know how to explain it, but I kind of forgot how much I really loved the original show and how much I watched it. I mean, I was like avidly watched it back in the day. So he was doing that, and then I unpacked my backpack and got everything out of that. Okay, so like, I don't know if I've talked about this on here before, but like when I come home from a vacation, like I have to like unpack all my stuff. Like I have to be, so that when I wake up tomorrow morning, it's like business back to usual. And I'm just like, I don't have to unpack my stuff. And Alex can live out of a suitcase for about 3 or 4 days. And he's actually leaving to go to Chicago on Friday. So, I did get a bottle of water at the airport, in Las Vegas. So I'm gonna drink this bottle of water. Have you guys seen these new spiked tumblers from Starbucks that they're coming out with? I have to have them. I have to have this spiked tumbler. And I also bought a venti cup from Las Vegas. I know that I'm gonna get criticism and people are gonna say, well, you were talking about recycling and now you're buying all these Starbucks cups. How is that recycling? Well, for me, to be honest with you, I feel like I'm not throwing away the plastic. But it's a collectible too. And so I was telling Alex, like, I think because I had just gotten sent, Frank sent us the tumblers for the venti, like the iced coffee, like the iced tea for Alex and the iced coffee for me from Arizona. And I didn't know that like each place had a different one. And so when I was in the Starbucks, the Cosmopolitan, they had these tumblers, I guess they're called tumblers, that said Las Vegas on them. And so I got one today. Was it today or yesterday? I got it yesterday. And I'm gonna start collecting it. I mean, I use those more than anything, even just around the house. Like if I'm like just doing nothing, I'll fill them up with water. I don't even use like cups or glasses in our house anymore. I use those things. So I don't know. When I'm dead, I'll bequeath them to somebody. So they'll just live on and on for eternity. But plus I've always kind of wanted something to collect, and I think that's kind of a fun thing. I know it's stupid, but I don't think it's stupid really. I think it's kind of a fun thing. So anyway, And as far as like bringing a souvenir back from someplace, I think that's kind of a fun souvenir to bring back from someplace. So I'm gonna start getting those cups when we travel. Maybe San Diego I'll have one, we'll have to see when we go. I watched 2 movies on the plane. I watched that, I can't pronounce it, Alex kept on correcting me, La Llorona, The Weeping Lady. Alex said he was absolutely terrified of her, and he was like, I saw her when I was a kid. And I said, you saw her when you were, he was like, yeah, I saw her. We were like on this trip, and we were like out in the middle of nowhere and up in the mountains, and I saw her. I saw the Weeping Lady. I go, no, you didn't. He goes, yeah, I did. I saw the Weeping Lady. So then I started watching the movie, and I won't ruin it for you, but it's not bad. It's real predictable. I mean, are there any scary movies anymore that are not predictable? Like, I just feel like they're all extremely predictable. La Llorona or something like that. He said I was pronouncing it wrong. I don't know how to pronounce it, but anyway. He said he saw her. Well, if you watch the movie, it's like kids that misbehave are taken by La Llorona or whatever. And I said, I stopped the movie and I said, you were misbehaving. And he goes, no, that's what our parents would tell us, is that she was going to come and get us if we misbehaved. And I said, so you were misbehaving, that's why you saw her. And he goes, no, I was actually being good. He was like real serious about it. It was kind of cute. So I watched that. Ooh, it got hot in here quick. And then I watched Us, which was really good, actually. I mean, I don't know. It was different. It was a different kind of scary movie. It was with that actress that was in 20 Years a Slave, that, Lupita. She's gorgeous. She is gorgeous and a fantastic actress. She was so good in this movie. And, like, it's such a, like, a weird movie to say that about, but, like, she really was, because she had to play 2 completely different characters, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody. Like, I don't know that I would recommend it to anybody. Like, Alex was like, should I watch it? And I was like, I mean, it's good, it's okay. It's just a different concept. It's like if you've ever seen Cabin in the Woods, okay? Like, people don't understand this. Like, I love that movie. I love Cabin in the Woods, the remake of it. And people are like, what do you, people always say to me, like, as a horror movie fanatic, like, why do you love that movie? It's so corny. And at the end, it's really corny. And I was like, but see, I liked that they spun the end of it, and it was totally unexpected. Like, I loved that it was unexpected. This is unexpected. Like, the end is kind of, like, real unexpected. The end is real unexpected, and, like, I would say, like, the almost end is unexpected. It's funny, too. Like, it's real funny. There's, like, a lot of funny lines. Like, her husband in the movie is hilarious. And, so, yeah, it was good. I wanted to watch Pet Sematary, but I've heard real bad things about it. I've heard it wasn't really good, and I had that too. And then Alex was watching he was watching, like, that End Game, I think, is what he was watching. He was, like, watching all, like, you know, those Marvel comic kind of deals. But anyway. So, we flew from Las Vegas to Salt Lake City. I have to literally think it out loud, or think it in my head each time I say Vegas. So, and then now people are saying, somebody commented and said, I wish you would go back to saying Las Vegas. It was cuter that way. You know what was interesting was, when I was there, Maya says Vegas, not Vegas. Alex says Vegas, not Vegas. I wonder if it's a Midwest thing, that we draw our E's out like that, you know? So anyway, we flew from Las Vegas to Salt Lake City, and we were in Salt Lake City for like 45 minutes, and then Salt Lake City to Indianapolis, and that was like, it was really short. It was like 2 hours, it was supposed to be like 3.5 hours, and it was like 2 hours and 40 minutes. It was like really short, and we left early, because everybody was on the plane, I guess, and they were like, okay, we're gonna leave early, and so we left like 10 minutes early, which was nice. And, now coming down was a little like this. I don't love that. That makes me nervous. I don't love to fly anyway. It's not one of my favorite things. And so it's just like, I was kind of sad coming back today. Alex and I had such a great trip, you know. We got to spend, yesterday was really good for us to like spend the whole day, just kind of like walking. I mean, the pool is fun and stuff, but like walking around, we just talked the whole time that we were walking around. You know, we sat at Vanderpump Cocktail Lounge or whatever for like an hour, and you know, then we walked to like the fashion shops and walked to the mall at Caesars. And I wasn't really in a shopping mood, but like we had like a really good time just talking. And then we went on our date last night, and it just was nice. You know, we spent like the whole day together and just talking and just, you know, kind of reminiscing about stuff, and like the first time we saw this and the first time we saw that. It was real nice, you know. And oh my God, that church is ginormous. They moved. It used to be in a strip mall. Now it just looks like a big warehouse. It's kind of weird, I guess. But anyway, the I-Town Church, if you know what that is. So anyway, but yeah, the trip was really good. Like, we were talking about this today. Like, it feels like we could have stayed there 3 or 5 more days, or 10 more days. But it feels like we were there for a really long time. Like, it really does. Like, and I was thinking about this last night as I was, like, laying in bed, going to sleep. Like, everything that I wanted to do other than order room service, I did. Well, and go to Fremont Street. But, like, we were gonna do that last night. Alex was like, if you want to go, we can go. And I was like, we can. And he was like, he was really tired, and he was like, I'm afraid I'm gonna get down there and then I won't be a lot of fun, and I won't want to, you know, be. And I was like, that's cool. I was like, we'll just go next time. We're gonna, you know, then we'll have something to do. I do think that next time that we come, if I'm gonna book shows, I'm gonna book 1 show. I'm not gonna book 3 shows. Like, 3 shows was a lot, and it was like the first 3 days. And the thing is that, like, at the pool, being done with the pool, it's nice to come up and like take a nap and get something to eat. Well, by that time, it's time to get ready to, you don't really get to take a nap because it's time to like get ready, eat something, go to a show, because then you get out of the show and it's so late, right? And I was even going to the late shows. So I think next time if we do it, there's like a new, so Spiegel World is who owns Absinthe and Opium. Literally every person we ran into, we asked them what their favorite show was, and they said Absinthe, and we saw that last year. So the people that put on the production group, or whatever they're called, it's called Spiegel World, and they did Absinthe, and then they did Opium, which is at the Cosmopolitan. In September, they're having a 3rd show come out. I can't remember where they said it was, maybe the Venetian. So we'll probably come back for that, and there's a new Cirque du Soleil show coming out, and it's called Run, and it's supposed to be like some thriller kind of show. It looks kind of different, kind of fun. I think that might be kind of fun to see. Depends on how long we're there. I told Alex I would love to come for just like 3 days, like a long weekend, just to get away. PB did not cough 1 time, and yeah, and Boo and Tucker were really good for their grooms, because they got groomed today, and then tomorrow they get all of them washed and nail trims. And then they're coming home. They're so excited, I'm sure. They don't even know it yet, but Tanya's been sending me videos of the dogs and stuff like that. She sent me one of PB yesterday, and she sent me some of like Boo and Tucker, and it's just, they're just so cute. PB ate all of his food the whole week. Well, of course Boo and Tucker did, they always do, but PB ate all of his food. He wasn't like snobby about it at all. And I had her give him more food than he usually eats, because while he's there, he's real active, and so I wanted him to like keep his weight on him, you know. So he was real good, and I'm gonna go pick those little guys up tomorrow. And then Tanya and I have our meeting tomorrow night too. And I was trying to get a hold of my trainer because I have an appointment on Wednesday, and there's literally no way that I can wear sneakers with my blisters. There's like I even called people at the airport today, because like one of my feet, like I didn't have a Band-Aid on because I'm trying to like let it air out a little bit, you know, but it's bad, but it's not as bad. And people were like this woman was like kind of looking at it like, that is a bad blister. So I don't know what she's gonna say. If she has something that I can go in there and do, where I could wear like sandals, I mean, into a gym though, I mean, I can't really lift any weights because it could fall on my foot, and then she'll feel like, I guess they would be liable for that. I'm sure that they don't, you know what I mean? I'm sure they have some rule against that. So we'll have to see. But anyway, yeah, we're home. Oh, and so then I unpacked my backpack and got my computer put away and my headphones and my book and everything. I did not read one thing. A couple people asked that actually on the vlog. They were like, did you get to read it all? I did not read one thing. I literally read 4 pages of Void Moon, and that was like it. And I read it on the plane on the way there. And then I was like, I think I'm gonna watch a movie. I didn't listen to any of my audiobook. My audiobook that I picked specifically for Vegas, I didn't read a book, anything. I didn't do anything with books. Mel and I talked a little bit, but like, that was it. Like, we texted, and it really was off my radar, honestly. You know what was really nice? Was just sitting on the patio, watching Las Vegas, and like watching the fountains of the Bellagio, excuse me, and just watching the strip and stuff, you know? But I have to say, like, Alex and I were talking about this on the way home, because when we got into, like, Indianapolis, like, where our house is, like, you could hear, like, the crickets outside, and he goes, do they seem louder to you now that we're back? Because I love this, he knows I love the sound of it. He goes, they really are pretty. The thing is that, like, Indianapolis is so dark. Like, so, you guys look. I mean, it's pitch black. You don't see that. I mean, maybe like out in the middle of nowhere in Nevada, but like in Vegas, you don't see this. Like, it's so lit up all the time. It's almost like, you know, a city on steroids. And so I kind of like missed this, you know, this just simplicity and country and the crickets. And I love that. Like, I'm really like a country boy at heart. I really am. And, which is funny because when I was growing up, I always used to think that I would live in like the big city someday. Like, I always thought that I would be like, you know, like in Chicago. I definitely thought I would be in Chicago. And then as I got older, I just didn't love Chicago as much. Even to this day, like, I went through a period where I used to go up there and like visit a lot and like friends, and, you know, we would go stay up there on a weekend and go out. I just don't love Chicago anymore. And I'm not this is no offense to anybody that lives in these cities. I mean, I think Chicago is a great city. You know, New York is a great city. New York is way too fast for me. It's too expensive and it's too fast. And I've only been once and I didn't love it. And, I mean, I went and I saw the sights and stuff. And between you and I, if I never went back to New York, I'd be completely just fine. And, like, Los Angeles, I would go back to Los Angeles. I would go back and do, like, if I would go back and do like all just touristy fun stuff. Like, I had a great time doing that. And yeah, I would go back to Los Angeles. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. But I think that, like, if I went and I saw like Venice Beach, and I, you know, did like Runyon Canyon, is that what it's called? And I, you know, did like the Hollywood sign, and I don't know, like went and did some kind of like, you know, Melrose Place and actually walked where the shops are and stuff like that. I think like that would be really fun, you know, to do like Los Angeles that way. Because I didn't, and I was out there, you know, just like one thing after another. So it was like, it felt like a quick trip, you know. But of course, Las Vegas, I would go back to. I'd like to go to Seattle and Portland. I have friends that live near, well, I have a friend that lives in Portland, one of my best friends from high school, and she's lived there for 20 years, and I've never gone. Denver, I love, but I haven't been there in forever. But that's the next trip that we're planning. Miami, of course, you know I love. Miami's a different city, though. It's so weird, like, you know, like, I think people think of, like, when they think of Miami, they think of, like, downtown Miami, you know, like Miami Vice kind of thing, and the Bay and things like that. But, like, to me, when I think of Miami, I think of, like South Beach. I don't necessarily think of, like, Miami, like, you know, Dade County. And, I mean, I do, like, that is Dade County, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't think of, like, Miami as being like, I think this goes down to one lane, which is why they have those bumper things, but I don't think of like Miami as like downtown. I don't love that part of Miami. And really the only time that we ever like walk around down there is like, Alex really wants to move to Brickell, which is like an area of Miami that's like a little bit more expensive than we can probably afford. Like a lot more expensive than we can probably afford, unless we want to be in a real small apartment. But we have a lot of friends that live in Brickell, but Brickell's like downtown Miami, and high rises and stuff like that. Like, I just, like, that to me, I don't love that. I love like the 3 or 4 story, you know, apartment buildings. I mean, but those are so expensive in South Beach. I mean, South Beach is incredibly expensive. But you know, we'll just have to see. What other cities do I love? Louisville, Kentucky is a really fun city. You know, it's really underrated because I think it's small and it's from, like, you know, the Midwest, South. I don't even know what you consider Louisville. If you're from Louisville, let me know. Do you consider yourselves the Midwest, or what do you consider yourselves? I don't know. But, you know, like, they have the bridge. They have a lot of, like, a really artsy area. They have, like the last couple times that Alex and I've gone down there, we've stayed at the 24C Hotel, which is like this, like, they have installation art. It's really cool. Then they have the Highlands, and they have, like, vintage shops that are really, really fun around that area. But, you know, I've been going to Louisville since I was literally 21. I went to Louisville, Kentucky the first time, like, for fun, when I turned, like, I must have been under 21. 1993. Oh, I was 21, and I went for Entertainer of the Year, National Entertainer of the Year, which is in Louisville, Kentucky, and it used to be at the Connection, but the Connection is now closed. It's a bar, and it's a national pageant. Shayla Simpson won, I remember that year. And she did His Eyes on the Sparrow, and it's still to this day one of my favorite drag routines of life. You can see it on YouTube. Shayla Simpson, S-H-A-Y-L-A, Simpson, S-I-M-P-S-O-N. Camille Simpson was her drag daughter. I don't know what happened to her, but she was fantastic as well. But she never won. I was actually just looking up, because they just had it. It was at the end of July, and I was like, somebody put something up on Facebook. One of my drag queen friends was like, something about, oh, she was at Entertainer of the Year this year. And I was like, oh my God, it came and went. Like, I usually am, like, on social media trying to see, like, when people are posting videos of talent and evening gown and all. I completely missed it this year. And somebody won, and their name was Buffet. Like, it's like B-U-F-F. And apparently they've written, I was, like, reading their bio, and they've, like, written books, and they're, like, have all of this stuff that they've done. They're, like, an activist. It's, like, super impressive. They started a Campus Pride organization. They're, like, the creative director and the founder and director or something. It was real, and I'd love to know what their talent was to win a national pageant. I mean, all of that's fine and well, but that, you don't need all that to win a pageant. You know what I mean? That has nothing to do with winning a pageant. So I wonder what the talent was, because EOI, Entertainer of the Year, is, like, really heavily weighted with talent. Like, you have to have, like, a killer talent, or you can forget it. So I wonder what her talent was. And then Miss Continental is at the Baton in Chicago, and it's this upcoming, I think it's this upcoming weekend. It's Labor Day weekend. Is that this week? Is this weekend? Yeah. I've never been. I always wanted to go. Or have I been once? Anyway, that's this weekend. And I actually was just watching this video on YouTube, because there's this YouTube channel I watch. I watch literally every video they put out, and they probably have never even heard of me. And they're called, like, Drag. I can't think of what it's called. Their videos get suggested to me constantly, so I know when they have a new one out. Well, they're also in my subscriptions, but Drag Lover. And they post, like, talent from every pageant and things like that. It's really a great channel if you follow, like, drag pageants and stuff like that. It's not RuPaul's Drag Race stuff. It's like drag pageant. And I love drag pageants, and I always have since I came out. And so, yeah. Oh, it's gonna stop. Hold on. Drag Lover, that's who it is I watch. So, I can't believe I've vlogged that long. Doesn't seem like I have. So, yeah, I watch all those videos, but they put up a video of, like, all the contestants that were in going to be in Miss Continental. What's interesting about it is Roxy Andrews, who was on RuPaul's Drag Race, is one of the contestants in Miss Continental this year. But Erica Andrews, who was her drag mother and my favorite female impersonator of life, she was trans as well, but she's, like, one of well, she passed away several years ago. She was in Indiana when she passed away, and she was actually from San Antonio, Texas, but literally hands down my favorite performer of life. I mean, absolutely incredible. You can look her up online, Erica Andrews. Her talent is beyond. I mean, it's like something you would see on like a Broadway show. It's like unbelievable. And she was a Miss Continental. She also was National Entertainer of the Year. She had won tons of pageants. And she might have been a Miss Gay US of A. I don't know. Or Miss Gay America. I don't think she was Miss Gay America. I think she was Miss Gay US of A though. Well, maybe. That pageant's in Texas, so that would make sense if she was. If she did, it was earlier in her career. But she was a Miss Continental, and I actually saw her win National Entertainer of the Year. I saw that. Oh my God, she was so incredible. She did this Mommy Dearest routine for her. So like, people for their final night talent, so they, you know, they have prelims, and then like, you know, that they have like, what do you call it? They knock it down from like 30 people, like 30 girls to like, you know, 10, and then the final night it's 10. And I remember her final night, her pre-talent was like this thing from that Catherine Gallagher, you know, from Saturday Night Live, Superstar. You remember that? So she did this like whole like dance routine to all of that, and had people out there that looked just like, it was hilarious. But her final night talent was this mix of all of these things from Mommy Dearest. It was absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And it was done to, why can't I think of her name? The one that said, "This Is My Life." I can't think of her name. I actually have the song in my iTunes. Of course I would. Why wouldn't I? Shirley Bassey. Okay, she does the whole thing that is Shirley Bassey's song. And it's like, it's incredible. I think that's like one thing that people would probably never guess about me, is that I like know so much about Jack. I mean, even to this day, I know like most of the contestants that participate in drag pageants. I follow it. Even if I don't go to shows as much, like I'm constantly watching that stuff online. I know who they are. I know where they're from. I know how long they've been performing. I know what bars they work at, all that kind of stuff. And I think part of it for me too is that, like, although I would love to see Roxy Andrews, I have to say, as the daughter of Erica Andrews, I would love to see her win Miss Continental. The thing is that since RuPaul's Drag Race, I don't think that we give local drag queens, and I mean, there's a lot of national drag queens, local drag queens in your town that work their butt off and don't ever get any attention because they weren't on RuPaul's Drag Race, and I just don't feel okay about that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but I grew up in a different era where they busted their butts, you know? But there's some phenomenal talent out there. I mean, phenomenal talent out there. And that will never make it on. I mean, like Jackie Beat, you know, is one of the most hilarious comedians of life. You know, like Peaches Christ and these people that put on these whole shows in San Francisco, you know? They do like casts of like the Golden Girls and 9 to 5, and I mean, they do like these unbelievable shows, right? And they'll never have that kind of attention. What's the other one called? Tranica Rex, I think is her name. I mean, just tons and tons. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I always get it wrong, but I think it's like Rhea Litre. She's like in Los Angeles. I saw this like because I watch Hey Queen with Johnny McGovern, and I'd seen her like for like the past 2 years, like in everybody's pictures, and I knew that she worked in like Mickey's and places like that in LA. But she said for like years she had worked at helping other drag queens build their careers and whatever, and then now she was like, I hope she gets on RuPaul's Drag Race, because she's like somebody that works really hard. Like Vicky Vox, I always thought should be on there too. You guys are probably like, I have no idea who these people are. But like Vicky Vox, Willem, and Detox used to do these songs, and they were hilarious. Well, Detox and Willem made it on RuPaul's Drag Race, but Vicky Vox never did. Sometimes it's interesting to me who gets picked out of like on RuPaul's Drag Race. I mean, sometimes I watch it and I think, why? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is it about this person? When I've met other people that are like 100 times more creative and everything about them, you know, is just like if you've ever had, and maybe they haven't applied, you know, like that's the other thing. I always wonder sometimes is like maybe they haven't applied, but there's like, I don't even actually know if she's performing anymore, but I think she is, but Deranged. She was a National Entertainer of the Year. And she is probably one of the most creative female impersonators I've ever seen in my entire life. And I think she just goes by D, but her name is Deranged. It's like D-E-E-R-A-N-G-E-D. She used to work in Nashville, I think Play. And I don't know where she is today, but like I mean, her talent is unbelievable. Absolutely, absolutely unbelievable. Like really, really creative stuff. You know, like Nina West. If you guys watch Nina West, Google Nina West, E-O-Y, and go watch her stuff that, like go watch her talent that she did for Entertainer of the Year when she won. Because, like, she didn't even get to be really shown on RuPaul's Drag Race. I don't know. I sometimes feel like, I love that show. It's one of my favorite shows in the entire world. But I sometimes feel like it's very edited to kind of, like, pick the winner that they want to, you know what I mean? I loved Edie Oddly. I thought she was great to win. But I was like, I don't know. It seemed kind of contrived a little bit to me. You guys are like, who cares? We don't know who any of these people are. I know, it's all just a bunch of boring BS, isn't it? Well, you're back to the car vlog, so what did you expect? I cannot wait to pick up my little dudes tomorrow. I'm so excited. Tucker and Boo Radley got puppy cuts, which means that they got shaved down. They're real short like puppy dogs again, and they're gonna look so cute. Peepee is gonna get his nails trimmed tomorrow and is a bath. Peepee doesn't like baths. Oh, I'm gonna turn around and go back. I'm getting tired. That vlog went kind of quick, didn't it? I'm gonna get back into listening to the books. Gotta finish at least 2 books for this month. I don't know how many books I've listened to, maybe 2 or 3. Not a lot. This has been a slow month. Last month was a good month, but this month is gonna be slow. I've kind of given up caring how many books I read this year, but I probably won't when the end of the year comes around. Oh my God, here's this spooky turnaround again. Out here in the middle of this, whatever this is, plant right here. That scares me, I don't like it. I thought there was a turn in. Now I don't even see a turn in there. Oh, here it is. Look, here I'm going to show you what I'm turning in. Look at this. Like, if you never see me again, it's because I was kidnapped. Oh my Lord, and look. There's corn. Can you see the cornfields over there? You can't see it. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye. Fall is right around the corner in Indianapolis. It may be 70 degrees outside right now, but I can tell you it's like, it's going to drop temperature here in about a month. Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see. All right, you guys, listen, I'm going to get off here. I'll do a longer vlog the next couple nights because I know people like them, and I'm back home, so I can talk and talk and talk and talk. But anyway, I'm going to get off here now, and I hope you guys are having I need to come up with a new ending, don't you think? I hope you guys are having an amazing Tuesday. It's not going to probably happen tonight. I'm going to have to think about what my new ending is going to be. I hope you guys are having an amazing Tuesday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans. Make the most of your day. And, yeah, do something different today. Do something exciting. Do something fun. Try something you've never tried before, even if it's just a new kind of ice cream. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you pass it on to yourself, and that you tell yourself how much you are worthy and that you love yourself as well. Look at yourself in the mirror every single day and start your day off by saying, I love you. You deserve to have a good day today. Today is going to be a good day. The mirror is actually a really good place to practice affirmations. I don't know why I'm pointing. But the mirror is a great place to practice affirmations because it's hard, you know, to look at yourself in the mirror and say, today is going to be a good day. You know, good things are going to happen today, you know, and do all that kind of stuff. I think, you know, you're loved, people care about you, you know? I think that's a good place to practice it. So, and most importantly, pass it on to somebody else. Let somebody else know exactly how important they are to you. We need to do that more often. And yeah, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.